Okay, these are the study guide questions for the second marking period. Start out with closet space. The school has decided to change the school mascot 3 times. List all of the previous mascots. Explain why they had to change them. First, they were the Trojans. They said they didn't send a strong abstinence message. Then they were the Blue Devils. The school board has come out against, they just say the school board came out against the Devils, suppose, devils being devilly things. Okay, so tigers, a shocking disrespect for an endangered creature. Talks about the Ecology Club being more for that. Then they become the wombats. They remain this for the rest of the second marking period. At the beginning of the third marking period, they turn into the hornets. Just for your reference, you wouldn't know that at this point. How does Melinda fix up her closet, and why do you think she does this? She covers the mirror first off, just like she did in her room. Another symbolic move here for the mirror, if you're filling out your symbolism chart. Puts up a poster of Maya Angelou, and she cleans it to make it more hospitable. Describe Melinda's lips. They are raw in here. She also talks about a sore throat and clenched jaws. Throughout this, she talks about her lips being chapped, sore, raw. Other people around her talk about needing chapstick and her lips being gross and blistered and sore. I think it's sort of an outward sign of her lack of speech, something like that. Why do you think Melinda's having difficulty talking? It's the secret. Whatever it is, she's holding it in, not talking. Perhaps she's at war with herself to get that secret out of her, but it's giving her a hard time. What author has the school district banned from the school library? Maya Angelou. If you want to learn more about her, there's her biography and a list of her poems, if you haven't heard of her. We move over to Spanish class with All Together Now, and what might be significant about the words Melinda conjugates in her Spanish homework, and why do you think she chooses them? She says to translate basically what she's unable to do at this point. She can't speak or translate into words that are understandable by her peers. It's what exactly happened to her, or just understandable to anyone. To flunk, reference to her failing grades. To hide, back to the closet, hiding what if she hides, things will not harm her. And to forget, reference to, again, what's happened to her in the summer that we're not sure about. Go into the First Amendment, and we get introduced here in the study guide questions to David Petrakis. We don't do a lot on him, but he walks out of Mr. Neck's class. Mr. Neck basically goes on a rant about immigration, and he opens up the floor to a debate. When David voices his opinion, Mr. Neck doesn't want to hear about his side of the argument. So David, who is normally a very good student, a well-behaved student, gets up out of the class, walks out of the classroom, deliberately disobeying Mr. Neck, because he feels like he's not being listened to or treated fairly in the debate. It's that back to that First Amendment, which is the freedom of speech, which is what this is all about. This novel is about his speaking. Perhaps setting David up as a role model for someone who does speak his mind, whereas Melinda does not. What is Melinda's home life like, and what is her mother and father like? They seem fairly typical parents who care but are maybe stressed out, and wrapped up in their own problems. Although they are a bit dysfunctional when referring to the Thanksgiving dinner. Her mother works in retail, so Black Friday is a big deal. She wants both to succeed at work and at home, so she puts herself through the ordeal of cooking this huge Thanksgiving dinner, and she does it every year. It never turns out right. This year is no exception. She gets up, she forgets she has the turkey. It's not thawed. She tries to get it in there. Her father, after she leaves, she gets her husband, and he tries to hit it with the axe or the chopper, whatever it is, and it all just turns into a huge fiasco. When the mother leaves, her father tries to make soup out of the turkey, and it's similarly a terrible fiasco, and definitely a messed up Thanksgiving dinner. Here's turkey for you. Describe Melinda's turkey bone art project. She talks about gluing the bones to the block of the wood, arranging the skeleton. You can look at it there. What mood does Melinda's art project evoke in Mr. Freeman? Freeman is overjoyed. It says he almost faints with delight. Ivy says it looks scary, but she kind of likes it. This is sort of Ivy is a character that, even though she doesn't hang out with Melinda anymore, she's still sort of a sympathetic character. One of the only remaining friends that Melinda feels that I think has any kind of understanding or sympathy for Melinda. That's a picture from the movie where she does the art project. What memory does the apple evoke for Melinda? They have the science project where her and David are science partners and they're supposed to cut up the apple. And she instead thinks about a trip to the orchard with her parents when she was young. And this brings back sort of loving, happy memories, reflecting on that rather than her miserable situation. She bites the apple and David gets upset at her because they're supposed to be using it for the art project. Why is Melinda so overwhelmed by the Christmas gift her parents give her? It's charcoals, and they noticed that she was into art, and that they noticed about what was going on with her, and Melinda is overcome because she doesn't really think that anybody is listening to her. She's not talking, but that anyone's paying attention to her, or at this point, and her parents really are. They really are there for her. Why do you think Melinda passes out while dissecting the frog? They don't tell us exactly what has happened, but it gives us more clues as to what has happened to her. The frog being dissected, cut up. Who is the it Melinda refers to? We get him a name. He is Andy Evans. And that's the second marking period.